Welcome to this lesson on the variance of a binomial distribution. In statistics, understanding the average is important, but understanding the spread, or how much data varies, is just as crucial. Today, we will learn the simple yet powerful formula for calculating the variance of a binomial experiment. First, let us quickly recall what a binomial distribution is. It applies to situations where we have a fixed number of trials, like flipping a coin 10 times. Each trial must have only two possible outcomes, usually called success and failure. Importantly, the probability of success, denoted as P, must remain constant for every trial, and each trial must be independent of the others. So, what exactly is variance? Think of it as a measure of consistency. If you repeat an experiment many times, will you get a result close to the average every time, or will the results be all over the place? Low variance means the results are tightly clustered. High variance means the results are spread out widely. Variance quantifies this spread. Here is the formula for the variance of a binomial distribution. It is denoted by sigma squared. The formula is simply n times p times 1 minus p. It is elegant because it combines the three key elements of our experiment: the number of trials, the probability of success, and the probability of failure. Let us break down the formula. The first factor is n, the number of trials. Mathematically, as n increases, the variance increases. This makes sense because if you flip a coin 100 times, there is more room for the total count of heads to vary from the average compared to flipping it just 10 times. The next part of the formula involves p and 1 minus p here. P is the probability of success, and 1 minus p is the probability of failure. The variance depends on the product of these two numbers. This interaction determines how uncertain the outcome of a single trial is. Let us look at a concrete example. Suppose we flip a fair coin 100 times. Here, n is 100 and p is 0.5. Plugging these into our formula, we multiply 100 by 0.5 and then by 0.5 again. The result is 25. This is the variance of the number of heads we expect to see. Now compare that to a different scenario. Imagine taking 100 difficult basketball shots where you only have a 10% chance of scoring. Here, n is 100, but p is 0.1. Calculating the variance, we multiply 100 by 0.1 and 0.9. The result is 9. Notice how the variance is much lower here compared to the coin toss. This brings us to an interesting rule. The variance is at its absolute maximum when p equals 0.5. As shown in the graph, if an event is very rare or very certain, the variance drops. Uncertainty, and therefore variance, is highest when the outcome is a 50-50 toss-up. Finally, you will often hear about standard deviation. Variance gives us a value in squared units, which can be hard to interpret. To fix this, we simply take the square root of the variance. This gives us sigma, the standard deviation, which is in the same units as our original data. To wrap up, remember these 3 points. First, the formula for variance is n times p times 1 minus p second. The spread of data is largest when the probability is 0.5. And third, to get the standard deviation, just take the square root of the variance. Thank you for watching.
If you like this video, hit that like button and don't forget to subscribe. Visit codelucky.com for more such useful content.